Welcome to part 3 of showing you guys my entire video game collection. In the last part, we took care of the PS3, 360, PS2, and original Xbox categories. Part 1 was PS4, PS5, and Xbox One. If you guys missed those, they'll be in a playlist of some sort, I'm assuming. But we have finally arrived at the handhelds. Now, these next couple categories are going to be much shorter. I don't have as many games of these as I do of the other ones, whereas these are only 81 in total, where the other ones were in the hundreds. So, this one shouldn't take as long, but we're going to keep to the theme of different generations. At least we're going to start with the PlayStation handhelds, and then we will go to Nintendo. And if you guys like this so far, be sure to hit that like button, and let's get her going. So, PSP, I only have 3, so this one should be pretty easy already. First up, we have Persona 4 Golden. Unfortunately, I don't have any inserts or anything like that. It's just the game in the case. I did overpay just a little bit for this guy, just because I really wanted this for my Vita. It's like fucking, oh god, I think I paid like 50-60 bucks for this guy. It's a spendy bugger, but it's worth it. Like, this game is amazing. Persona 4 Golden, definitely a worthwhile entry. Next up, we have Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for the Vita. I know I own this for the PS3 already, but like, it's Sly Cooper on the go. Like, come on. I know it's not my favorite game in the series, but it's still a Sly game nonetheless, and I'm really happy that I do own it. I actually kind of cheated the trophy system a little bit, and I was able to put all of my save data from my PS3 version onto my Vita, and I unlocked every single fucking trophy for the Vita version already, so that was nice. But anyway, so yeah, I do want to try to get the Sly collection on Vita, but that's like upwards once again to 50-60 bucks. This one I got at a vintage game shop for only, I think it was like 25-30 bucks. So this was definitely a worthwhile add to my collection. Last but not least, we have Uncharted Golden Abyss. Once again, love me some Uncharted. All of them don't have the manual, unfortunately, but this is still a really fun game. It's not my favorite Uncharted game in the franchise by a long shot, but it is still a fun little handheld experience. I actually had a little bit of a hiccup when I was playing this, where apparently my Vita wasn't updated, and it was like causing my fucking game to like swerve around while I was trying to snipe and shit. So it's still fun. I still recommend playing it, obviously. I actually bought the game by itself, and then I bought the case later, so I was able to at least get a proper case for that. I do wish sometimes that stuff would have manuals, but like, I know for a lot of newer games like this, if there's no inserts or anything like that, I'm not usually fucking bothered by it. Mostly because I know that they don't have the freaking inserts anymore, so I'm a little bummed. So yeah, that is literally my entire PS Vita collection. I'm trying to expand it. I want to get like Persona 4 Golden, the Ratchet, oh no, I don't think Ratchet & Clank is on there, but I want to get Jak and Daxter, the fucking Sly Cooper series, that kind of stuff. I want to expand my Vita collection as much as I can, but there's not a whole lot that I can find that is really interesting to me, I guess, but that's all for the Vita collection for now. We are going to move on to PSP, which there are going to be at least 13 here. First off, and this is an obvious pick for anyone who has a PSP, and that is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, especially if you are a fan of the Final Fantasy franchise. Crisis Core is definitely something you want to pick up. I have it complete in box with the manual and all that, as well as the Rediscover the Classic thing, which is pretty cool. So, this one, Julie actually got for me as a gift because apparently I did something nice for her or something. I don't know. She's weird. But, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, I played through this whole thing. One of the first games I beat on the PSP. Totally fucking worth it. Highly recommend. Next up, we have Dissidia Final Fantasy. I have heard of this, but I have never played it before. And it does have the original manual and all that. I believe, I don't remember if this was from me having to replace the case, or if this was the case that came with it. I think it was the case that came with it, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it's all in its original box, still in really good condition. I still haven't cracked into this yet, but I can't wait to actually try it. It looks like almost like Smash Bros meets Final Fantasy in a way. But yep, I got Dissidia. I also have the update. It's Dissidia 012. I don't particularly know what the fucking difference is, but I saw this at a pawn shop. Oh, the same thing with the other one. I also saw it at a pawn shop and I decided to buy it. Also complete in box with everything like that. And I got this yesterday as of recording this video. Yeah, it is now. I think this is basically just Dissidia, but it added more characters. I don't know. I don't fully know the. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not gonna lie. But if you guys know the difference, please let me know in the comments below. Going back to some classics here. Final Fantasy 1. This is the 20th anniversary edition remaster for the PSP. I found this at a vintage game shop for around, I think it was like 25 bucks. And it comes complete in box with the original UMD case. This was a surprising find because I found another game that you guys are going to find here soon. And I was sitting there going, man, I wish Final Fantasy 1 was there. I literally walked in, I went to the PSP section, that's the first thing I saw, and I'm like, I'm picking this up. I don't fucking care. Like, for 25 bucks, I will take it. Unfortunately, the case is a little ripped up, but it's not really that big of a deal. I can always replace the case. The art, though, is almost in practically pristine condition. But yeah, Final Fantasy 1 for the PSP. Next up, we have Final Fantasy 2 for the PSP. This one I randomly found at a pawn shop, and it was like saran wrapped together, and I was like, fuck it. This is a collector's item. I gotta get it. I mean, I know Final Fantasy 2 isn't that big with fans nowadays, but I still had to get it for, collector's sake. And it actually came, oh shit, whoops. It actually came with all the bells and whistles, including the manual. Unfortunately, the manual is a little ripped up, and when I got this UMD, the case was just extremely cracked, so unfortunately I had to get a new one and replace it. But either way, this was a worthwhile addition to my collection, regardless of how I feel about Final Fantasy 2 in general. But yeah, Final Fantasy 2 for the PSP. This one is another very recent addition to my collection as of like last week or something like that. Final Fantasy 4 Complete Edition, I think is what it's called. Yeah, the complete collection. So this one has both Final Fantasy 4 and its sequel, The After Years. And it also came complete in box with trading cards and everything. This one I bought off of eBay for like $45. And to have it in this pristine condition, that's one hell of a fucking deal. I'm not gonna lie. I've played Final Fantasy 4, but I haven't played the After Years, and I haven't played any of these versions yet, mostly because I've been kind of taking a little bit of a break from Final Fantasy. But Final Fantasy 4, the complete collection, definitely a worthwhile addition to the collection there. Unfortunately, there's no 3, 5, or 6 as far as I'm aware. If I am wrong, let me know. I know the ones that are Japan imports, and I can't do Japanese versions, unfortunately. I like having my stuff in English and all that stuff. Continuing on this Final Fantasy thing, we have Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions. Yeah, The War of the Lions. Yep. This one also came complete in box with original UMD. It is greatest hits, unfortunately, but that doesn't really bug me, honestly. It's not like I'm trying to sit here and sell the game. I mean, right, green label, black label, red label, black label. I'm not really picky. I know a lot of collectors are, and that's totally fair. Because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, black label is, like, the original release. But as long as I have the game, I'm not really too bugged by it. But anyway, I have not played a tactics game yet. I know a lot of people were singing praise in my Final Fantasy ranking about how great tactics is, and I'm very, very excited to actually get it started. But I do have it for the PSP. I don't know which one I should start with because I do have the PS1 version as well. I don't know. I'm also working on getting Tactics Advance too. But yep, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. That's another addition to my collection. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I picked this up as soon as I picked up my PSP because it was in the case and all that. Complete in box, original UMD, all that cool stuff. This was a must-have if I were to get a PSP collection because, you know, I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts nerd, as a lot of people know. I love Kingdom Hearts. And Birth by Sleep, oh god, I don't know where it lands on my ranking right now because I am going to play this version before I officially do my ranking. But, like, Birth by Sleep is definitely high up there, at least top 5 in my favorite Kingdom Hearts games of all time. This shit's fucking dark. It's just fucking... This game is fantastic. If you're a Kingdom Hearts nerd and you haven't played this yet, you need to. Obviously, you know, there are modern remasters on PS4. Definitely recommend those, but I'm definitely really excited to actually get started on the original Birth by Sleep. Especially since I wanted a PSP when I was younger, and I watched a lot of people have PSPs when they were younger, and it's nice to actually be able to have this stuff now. Next up, another controversial pick of adding to the collection, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. This game was originally for the PSP, and this was also in the case when I bought my PSP, so I just had to pick it up. Got the complete in-box with manual and the original UMD and all that stuff. Once again, another greatest hits. It doesn't really bug me. But yeah, once again, like I said in the previous part, I don't think it's as bad as everyone's like making it out to be. It's definitely not the best Ratchet & Clank game out there. There's definitely better options, but it's still an entry in the series, and I still recommend people at least giving it a shot. This next one is a double pack, and that is Secret Agent Clank and Daxter. You get both these games, you slide them out of the box, like so. Looks like Secret Agent Clank is a greatest hits version, while Daxter is not. I don't totally know why. But, Secret Agent Clank, with all that, I had to replace the UMD case, but, you know, that's complete in box technically. And then Daxter also complete in box, and I also had to replace the UMD disc, unfortunately. Not the disc, but the case. But yeah, once again, same thing. I had to pick it up when I went to fucking, you know, grab my PSP. So at least Secret Agent Clank I have beaten. Daxter I have not, so I don't know anything about Daxter, but I think you should definitely at least check it out if you can. Coming down to our last two, this one was just kind of a funny pickup. I found it randomly in the pawn shop, and my friend looked at me and was just like, dude, just get it. I'll charge you $1. Shrek the Third. I haven't played this game yet. I mostly got it just to be funny because I had Shrek 2 for the original Xbox. But this is also complete in box, and I don't remember if I had to replace the UMD or not, but I think I did. But it is complete in box. Unfortunately, there is a puncture right here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a puncture there. But other than that, it's there. And I don't know if it's good or not, so I guess we'll figure it out. Then last, but certainly not least, for the PSP section, we have Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix. This one, unfortunately, is the only PSP game that is not complete in box. I will be looking for the manual for this to complete it, but this is supposed to be... It has like 4 new levels, 4-person wireless multiplayer, and basically 2 games in 1 is basically what this is. But every single time I go to try to start this up, it keeps saying that my PSP has no memory, which is dumb, but, you know, whatever. But I guess I gotta figure that out. But I just had to add this to the collection because I had a lot of great I had a lot of great memories with Underground 2 on the PS2. So when this was there, when I was getting my PSP, I just had to. It was just a thing I had to do. But yeah, that's Underground 2 Remix. Alright, so we have reached the Nintendo portion of the video. Now, we're going to be working through 3DS and DS here. Some of these games I have cases for, some of these games I don't. So we'll be working through the ones that I have the case for, and then we will work through the ones that I don't have the case for, and then we'll do the same thing with DS. And then, yeah. So, first up on the list, we have The Legend of Korra. Now, I have been a huge Avatar fan for God knows how long. It does have the inserts and everything with it. Legend of Korra was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was still kind of a worthwhile watch. I've only watched it through like 1.5 times, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Legend of Korra wasn't bad. Now, the biggest reason why I have this game in the first place is because I was looking for an Avatar game for the DS. It was the first original Last Airbender game for the DS, and it was in a 4-pack. And I will get to those games when we get to the DS section, but this was in it. It was like, I don't remember, it was like $30, $35, and they all had their original cases, and most of them had the inserts inside, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I mean, it's a better deal that I've been finding. Like, the original Last Airbender game that I was looking for, literally, I couldn't find anything over or under $50. It's bullshit. But I figured that the whole pack, that this is where I started falling in love with eBay and finding this stuff. But yeah, Legend of Korra, I do own that, whatever. But I have not played it yet, so. But next up, we have Luigi's Mansion. Love me some Luigi's Mansion. Always love Luigi's Mansion. Always been into like the whole paranormal and ghosts and all that shit. I absolutely fucking love Luigi's Mansion. And Luigi's Mansion on the DS is not as good as the GameCube, personally. I definitely think it's great to have it on the go, not gonna lie. I think some of the achievements are kind of bullshit, but they do add like boss runs and co-op mode and all that stuff. And it's definitely really fun to be on the go and doing that. I think I just prefer the GameCube version more just because I like the 2-stick controls with that kind of stuff. But regardless, if you're a big Luigi's Mansion fan, I think you'll find some enjoyment out of this. Just probably not as much as the original, but I still have fun with this nonetheless. And of course, this was the very first game that I had in my collection when I first started doing the 3DS, and I had to get a new case for it and new inserts, and I think both of those I had to buy separately. Right? I have the inserts for you. Oh, did I think this one I have the inserts for. Not that it matters. Anyway, regardless. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Finally revealed to have a remake for the Switch, which I will be fucking picking up. This game is very divisive, and that is fair. It is very much different from the original Luigi's Mansion, with it being more mission structured instead of, just a full thing that you can explore. And those are totally valid criticisms. I think this gets a little too much criticism than it deserves, I think, because this game is still top-notch. I fucking love this game. I think, and of course I have all the inserts and everything like that with it. I think this fucking game, I'm pretty sure, has had issues working in my 3DS nowadays. Anyway, this game, it was the only game that I could get for the 3DS that was Luigi's Mansion based, because I saw the original. I played the original when I was really young, but I didn't own it. So when I finally had this, I played the ever-living shit out of this game. I love this game so much. It's just really fun, man. Like, I know it's not the same mission structure, and it's definitely not as strong as 3 and 1 are with their not custom goats, like they're unique ghosts, and a lot of these are just kind of the normal same. But this is still a really fun time. Even so, I highly still recommend picking it up for the 3DS or the Switch when it finally comes out. Next up, we got some Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Now, this is the remake for 3DS. They had the original Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story on the regular DS, and it's fun. I think I prefer the original more than I do this. I bought this off of Amazon. It was brand new. Probably, potentially. Inserts and all that. And still authentic, I think. Yeah, it's authentic. Sorry, I was second guessing myself for a minute. Yeah, so I play it. I personally like the music of the original better. And I'm not a big fan of the new graphics in these Mario and Luigi games. I love the Mario and Luigi series, but I think I prefer pre-Paper Jam graphics. Maybe it's just me. I think for some reason I think that Paper Jam looks a lot different than Dream Team. I could be wrong though. It's been a minute since I have played, but we'll just say for the time being pre-Dream Team Dream Team graphics. I prefer the older style of Mario and Luigi graphics to this, but it's still a fun time. I still recommend it if you've never played it and you're really into turn-based RPGs. This is a definite awesome pickup for sure. Next up, because I'm a fucking Persona nerd, Persona Q1. I got this off of Amazon for like, I think it was like 50, 60 bucks or something. It was before I started using eBay and using price charting and all that, and I just wanted to play this fucking game. So obviously this game is very divided, and I have, you know, everything here. This game is extremely divided, and I don't know. I'm very split on it, to be honest with you, because I think the new characters are interesting compared to its sequel. But I definitely do see what people mean by like having the dungeons being a little too gimmicky and too long, which I can totally understand. The combat wasn't the best, I'm not gonna lie. It was cool having the Persona 3 and Persona 4 teams unite. There was just a lot of characters that you had to kind of like shuffle through, and you had to like build your team based off of like specific attributes and stuff. So like, I can see where they were going with this, but like, it was just okay. In my opinion, it was just okay. Not bad. I think it's still worthy of a Persona fan at least trying it to see if they like it, because apparently this is also from the same people who made the Etrian Odyssey series. I think I said that right. Which I also haven't played, but I'd still give it a shot, give it a play, see if it's on discount, see if you like it before, you know, making your judgment call. So this was okay. It just wasn't like overall fantastic. Whereas its sequel, Persona 2Q, is also okay. Inserts, all that cool jazz. So my thing with Persona Q2 is they definitely touched up on a lot of the mechanics a lot. It still has it's not EXP share or anything like that, where you have to have people in your party in order to level them up, and it was hard to like juggle around a lot of characters. The battle mechanics have been improved tremendously. I definitely do see a lot of difference in the dungeons. I thought there were, I don't know, like I didn't mind the gimmicky dungeons in Persona Q1, but Persona Q2 sometimes felt a little bland. But I think those are only like specific ones that they just kind of got a little annoying. But both of them don't have the best dungeons, I guess is kind of where I'm coming from. But the battle mechanics in this is so much better than Persona Q1. My biggest gripe, though, there's no English version. It's all in Japanese. And I get it. I understand there wasn't a whole lot of praise for Persona Q1. But, like, this game was a little better than Persona Q1, but like, I just can't do stuff in Japanese, man. Like, it's clearly just a personal taste. It's just personal taste. I like to understand my games instead of just having to constantly read all the time. Because, like, I like, you know, if I have a cutscene going on, I'll walk away, grab some, like, food and stuff, and I can still hear what's going on. But, like, if it's just all Japanese, I just have a hard time following along. I mean, I understood the story okay, but anyway, that's something else for another time. It's all in Japanese, but if you can handle that and you want some better game mechanics, Q2 is a good one. Next up, we have Pokemon Sun. Oh, by the way, the Persona Q2 I got off of Amazon once again for like 60, 70 bucks. It was kind of a ripoff, not gonna lie. Anyway, Pokemon Sun. I got this at a pawn shop as well. It's got its original case and everything for it and all the inserts. I'm kind of collecting the Pokemon games. I have never gotten into Pokemon. My friend Micah kind of introduced me to some of the Pokemon games, and I've only played through 2 Pokemon games, and this unfortunately is not one of them. I've heard Ultra Sun is better. I don't know yet. I haven't played this game, but that is a thing. I do own Pokemon Sun, and I will be playing it at some point in time. Now we get to some stuff that I have played before, and we are looking at Shin Megami Tensei 4. This one is pretty much complete as well. Fucking lame inserts. SMT4, I really like SMT4, not gonna lie. I think the characters are a lot better than 5's. I mean, I'm okay on Nocturne so far. I still need to finish it before I make my official judgment. I definitely think that recruitment in this game is kind of a pain. I mean, it's kind of a pain in a lot of games. I just had a lot of easier time with 5 than 4 for some reason. I guess I would just get a lot of demons who, like, if I said the wrong answer, they'll negotiate with me and then be like, ha, see ya, bitch. So that really got annoying. But I definitely think this character and the story in this game are a lot better than 5's. Mostly because it's definitely a lot more character driven, and it's the whole, like, higher society versus lower society. And it's like, it's a really fun time. I really highly recommend SMT4 as well as its predecessor. Not predecessor. As well as its sequel. We'll just say that. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Now, this is a very divisive game. I don't know. There are so many things that I like more in this game than I do in 4. I definitely like the more character-driven narratives and stuff. Even though it's only a couple characters that actually get any true development in this, I think the gameplay took a massive improvement with the affinity system as well as the refined smirk mechanic. This is actually one that I just finished too, and I don't know. I guess I've always been someone who's on the neutral path, so I think I kind of vibe with this a little more. But I do understand why people have criticisms of this game. But I do highly recommend this game. I think this game is a lot of fun. It basically just amps up the mechanics of 4 and shifts it around, and it has a little more character-driven plot. But either way, I recommend both games. Both games are so much fun. I still don't know which one I like better. I still have to think about it a little more, but still recommend having this in your pile of 3DS games. Next up, we have Soul Hackers 1, or Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers 1. I mentioned in the first part that I own Soul Hackers 2, but I haven't played it mostly because I haven't played this. I know you don't have to know this one to understand the other one, but you know, it only makes the most sense. Once again, complete inbox, all that cool jazz. I started playing this one like months ago, and I never continued it. I definitely think I think part of it was definitely because I was in the middle of like 3 other games at this time, but I don't know. I just couldn't get around the mechanics. I think I got to the first boss and I died, and it was just really frustrating, and I just kind of stopped. But this is definitely something I'm going to be revisiting and in the future and trying to complete it, because I hear some good praises about this game, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But anyway, not the point. Super Mario 3D Land. This one I recently almost completed. There's still, I don't remember if it's like Champions Row or something like that, or Road or something. I don't remember, but like there's the very last level that you have to get through on this, and it's pissing me off. But I have played this game from start to finish, except for that one final level, and I don't know. I'm very. It's a good Mario game. All right, it's a good Mario game. I guess I'm just letting my hatred for that final level kind of rule over my decision making, but it can get pretty frustrating at times because there's like this whole hidden completion bonus where you can't die more than like 3 times or something on a level or something like that, in order to get like the true completion ascending or some shit like that. It's still a fun Mario game. Highly recommend putting it in your 3DS collection if you don't have it already. You'll be able to find it pretty cheap because I bought the game pretty cheap, and then I bought a replacement case on eBay. So yeah. Then last but not least, for the ones that I have in the case, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I bought the replacement case on eBay, and then I bought the game itself from the pawn shop. Here's the thing. I have started Ocarina of Time, but not on here. My friend bought me the not bought me, but let me borrow the N64 version of this game. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I think, sorry, I was double checking my recording time. I think the biggest thing is the controls, man. I got to the Forest Temple, the skeletons pissed me off, and then Gandalf, not Gandalf, I forgot his fucking name. Ganondorf. It's right here on the back of the box. Shadow Ganondorf. It was just not fun. I was legit getting so frustrated. I tried to pick the game back up like a couple months later, and I died once, and I'm like, all the fury is just real like. Ugh. The controls, I couldn't get behind, unfortunately. I did buy the biggest reason why I bought the 3DS version is I'm hoping that it improves a little, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't cracked into this yet. I'm a little afraid to, but yeah, Ocarina of Time 3D right here. Now, I'm going to pull out my other 3DS games that don't have cases, which there are only 8, which by the way, there are 27, no, god damn it, 21 3DS games in all that I have. They're down here, and I keep fucking misreading them. But I will be showing you guys the ones that I don't have completed yet. I plan on completing them, and that'll be something else that I'll be doing on the show, is if I have a game that's loose and I end up completing it, that will count as a win in my book. Okay, so first off, starting off with the first loose one, that is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, the original. I bought this at a GameStop for fairly cheap. This is mostly here for, what the fuck is it? For, collector's sake, and I want to try the original version if possible. I tried a little bit of it, but I just haven't continued it. Mario & Luigi Dream Team. Told you guys, love myself some Mario & Luigi. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it very well. It's trying to focus. Anyway, this was the second Mario & Luigi game that I ever bought, and I enjoy the dream mechanics. Definitely a lot of back and forth. I definitely want to complete that game again, just if I ever want to do like a ranking or something. But continuing forward, we have ourselves Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, if it wants to fucking focus. Maybe it's just trying to focus on me. It's kind of focused, but anyway, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. That one's okay. I think it's my least favorite out of the whole series, to be kind of honest with you. Mostly because a lot of stuff just felt extremely generic. I like the new attacks with Paper Mario and all that, but like it just, I don't know. It's fun. It's still a good game, but it's not as spectacular as the other ones. But next up, we have Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, if it wants to fucking focus. And plus Bowser's Minions. I played this version before I played the original Superstar Saga, which I'm still kind of chugging through, and it was fun. It was fun. It definitely did feel a little dumbed down compared to the original Superstar Saga, but it's still fun. It's still a fun game to be had. Next up is Paper Mario Sticker Star. Oh, by the way, the Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions I bought when I was a kid at GameStop for fairly cheap, as well as Paper Jam and Dream Team. I bought those all when I was a kid. Anyway, Sticker Star I bought extremely cheap at a pawn shop, and after watching some videos online, I can understand why. I haven't played it yet, so I don't have a proper opinion on it, but Sticker Star's there. Just to see what the fuck is going on. Alright, next up, getting into some interesting shit. I have myself a good copy of Pokemon Omega Ruby. I got this for fairly cheap at a pawn shop as well. Surprisingly, you know, it's really, really fun when you have a friend who works at a pawn shop. But I was told to get that over just normal. I was told to get that. But yeah. Then the only other Pokemon game that I have for my DS collection anyways, is Pokemon X. This is the first game that I completed by myself. The first Pokemon game that I ever played, like a proper Pokemon game, was Sword, and Micah got that for me, and that was the first one I ever technically beat, but the X was the one that I completed by myself, so I'm very proud of myself for that. And then last but not least, for the 3DS section, we have Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, if it wants to fucking focus there. I guess it's focused well enough. Yeah, it's just another pickup that I wanted to get for my 3DS, just in case I did want to get into the Zelda franchise. So yeah, that is there. Next up, we have the normal DS, and these first few are just kind of nostalgia burners. But first up, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. This was one that I had when I was a kid, and I couldn't get past, like, I think it was like the second or third level, because this is an RPG of some sorts. It's definitely kind of an unfair RPG at points, but it's still a fun RPG nonetheless. I got it complete in box, which is pretty fucking dope. This was one of the games that I got with a bundle, which had the Legend of Korra game in it, and it had this one, which I have played and beaten. It had Avatar: The Burning Earth for the DS. Also, I'm pretty sure this is mostly complete in box, but it doesn't have like the original manual and all that. But it had Burning Earth, which I have not played. I only played the PS2 version, and Into the Inferno. It also had, which is also complete in box, but I had to buy the manual and stuff separately. I still can't find the DS manual for that on eBay. It looks like I'll have to keep scouring, but still nice to have these two in the collection, mostly because I was a very big Avatar fan when I was younger, and I really just want to see what this Burning Earth and Into the Inferno games are, so that will be something that I will have to tackle at a later date. Next up, I told you in the last one that I was a big fan of Bakugan. Bakugan Battle Trainer. Not as good as the original Bakugan Battle Brawlers for the DS, but this one still is alright. This one I bought brand new off of Amazon for like 20 bucks, I think, and I got it complete in box as well. This one is more of a just power up your shit and hope you survive longer type of game. It's not as intricate as the normal Bakugan game, but it's still a fun little distraction if you ever feel the need to distract yourself with that shit. Next up, this is a game that you guys saw that in a different video, but I had to complete it. Final Fantasy III. as much as I have problems with this game, I still wanted it to be complete in box. I hope people understand that I don't hate Final Fantasy III. I just thought it was like out of everything, it was the one that I just enjoyed the least. The mechanics, I didn't enjoy the mechanics. There were some dungeons that I thought were just really frustrating. Now, obviously, it's very version exclusive. I understand that the normal NES version of it, which is coming soon, and I'll be doing in another video game roundup. But I got it complete. I was able to buy the box and the manual off of eBay, and they're all legit, which is really, really nice that I have that. So as much as crap as I give for this game, it's not like a total deal breaker. I think people should definitely give it a shot just to see what it's like. But I understand. But yeah, I had to get this complete, which is honestly really nice. But yeah, Final Fantasy III for the Nintendo DS, which also brings us to Final Fantasy IV for the DS as well. This was another thing that a lot of people were kind of yelling at me for, which, by the way, complete box. I got this originally off of Amazon. I forgot how much it actually was, but this is another one that I probably should have done a little more research on when I was doing my ranking. I'm definitely going to be playing the original NES versions that will might be coming here soon. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV, I love this game. This game is really fun. It's definitely a lot more challenging. Definitely recommend getting it on the DS or Steam, whatever you guys want to do. This one is a new one to the collection. This is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Rings of Fate. I'm pretty sure this is one that Xander recommended to me. But I saw it was either that or a different game, and I saw this at a pawn shop, and someone actually got it for me for Christmas because I told them that it looked interesting. But Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Rings of Fate, I haven't cracked into yet, but I really, really would like to if possible. Mario Kart DS. This is one that I found at a GameStop, complete in box. So this was all one purchase. I think I spent like 25 bucks on it, if I remember correctly. I haven't played it yet. I think I went through and I deleted all the files and stuff off of it. But yeah, I've always wanted to try to get better at Mario Kart, so I figured, have a couple Mario Kart stuff. But that is there. Getting more into some SMT, we have Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor. I paid way too fucking much for this game. Way too fucking much. Full stop. I went on Amazon, and I think I paid like a premium price for it. And I really wish I hadn't. Not because I don't enjoy the game, but because now that I'm on eBay and I'm looking at price charting and stuff, I could have gotten it for way cheaper. So this was definitely my bad. But either way, you'll notice that the game isn't in here, but the manual is. That's because this is currently in my DS. I'm currently playing this game right now, and so far it's fun. It's definitely a very unique take on the RPG genre. It is a strategy-based RPG, and it comes in high regards from a lot of people. So I am playing the original DS version. I plan on getting the 3DS version at some point or another. Overclocked, I believe it is. But yeah, Devil Survivor. It's fun so far. Last but not least, this was very much a childhood nostalgic decision of buying this. SpongeBob SquarePants Creature from the Krusty Krab. This is the first version of this game that I played, and I remember when I first opened it up, I had no idea how the fuck to move, because you have to use the stylus to like jump and move and all that kind of shit. This one is also complete in box. Bought it brand new off of Amazon for like 30 bucks, I believe. And yeah, I played through this once when I was a kid. I haven't played it again, so this is mostly just for nostalgia factor, is basically why it's here. Okay, and then let's go through the DS games that I have that do not have cases. First one being, of course, Bakugan Battle Brawlers. If it'll fucking focus. Thank you. Bakugan Battle Brawlers. I've had this game since I was extremely young, and I will never get rid of this fucking game. This is one of the best Bakugan games you can get on the market. Besides the other renditions of it, like the Wii version. The Wii version's really fun, but this is one of the best Bakugan games you can get. If you're really into Bakugan, get this game. It's great. Next up is B-Movie. B-Movie, the game. If it'll fucking focus, I gotta literally hide behind it. You know, if you didn't see it, whatever. I thought I had the case to this. I guess I don't. This is another game that I got when I was really young, but unfortunately lost it, so I had to replace it, and it's... I don't remember loving it, but I also don't remember hating it, but it's been a minute since I've actually played it, so I'll need to actually play it before I actually give you my proper opinion on it. This next couple might be really fucking weird. I really don't care either way. But first one, we have Club Penguin Elite Force. Fucking focus. Thank you. When I was much younger, I did play Club Penguin. I was unfortunate not to be able to what the fuck is it? To do the whole membership thing, but I really liked the secret agent missions. So I thought, and I saw both of these really cheap at a pawn shop, and I'm like, fuck it. And when I say both of these, I also mean the sequel, Herbert's Revenge. I'm trying to fucking make it focus, and it's not wanting to focus. I played the first one, but I haven't played Herbert's Revenge yet. I think that'll be one of my next ones that I try to go through. They're fun for little kids games. Obviously, you know, they're not as intricate, but they're just little throwbacks and nostalgia. All right, and then we got a couple Kingdom Hearts games here. And then I'll show them both to you because they both kind of have the same story. First one being 358 over 2 days. And then, if they're not focusing, I'm sorry. But, and then also, that first one was Recoded. I'm so sorry. Recoded, this one is Days. I'm sorry. 358 over 2 days and Recoded. I want to complete these at some point in time. Both of them I found at the same time at a GameStop. I think they were like $15-20 a piece, and I mostly wanted them for that nostalgic fact, for actually playing the original versions. And I did play through and beat both of them. Days I was kind of iffy on. Recoded I thought was kind of fun. Both good games, don't get me wrong, but I think I enjoyed the mechanics in Recoded more than I did Days, but I think Days definitely has the better story. So they kind of flop there if you think about it. But if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, track these down. They're definitely worth a playthrough. All right, getting back into some more Mario and Luigi here. I have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Hopefully that focused. This one I actually got for free from a friend. I was over at his house and I was looking through his DS games, and he's like, oh, and I was like, oh shit, you have this game? And he goes, yeah, I never play it. And I'm like, oh cool. And he goes, do you want it? And I'm like, fuck it, sure. And Bowser's Inside Story is a really fun game. It's not my personal favorite, but it's still fun. And that also brings us to Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. More games that I would like to complete. Partners in Time is also a really fun game. It definitely has a much darker tone to it than a lot of the other Mario and Luigi games, which I really like. But both these games are really fun. They're definitely worth it on the DS. I wish Partners in Time got the same... I almost wish the Partners in Time got the same remake treatment, but I also don't, because I don't know if I want to see... I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the graphics, I think, is my biggest thing for the newer ones. But I still recommend playing Partners in Time, even though you can really overpower enemies, and they're really fucking easy. But I still recommend them. I thought I had the case with this one, too, but apparently I don't. And that is New Super Mario Bros. DS. Got this for like $20 at a GameStop. And I played through it for the first time, and I 100%ed it. And I it's just like any other Mario game. It's gonna have its ups, it's gonna have its downs, it's gonna have its frustrations, it's gonna have its fun. But I still recommend it as like a good throwback when it comes to that stuff, especially Luigi Poker. Next one, Nicktoons Unite. I had a copy of this for the Game Boy Advance, and I played the ever-living shit out of it. I loved the Game Boy Advance version. I bought the DS version to see if it would be different. I haven't cracked into it yet, but I know I should. But the biggest reason why this is here is for nostalgia. Another game that I've had since I was a kid, fucking Phineas and Ferb. I was very much a Nickelodeon guy more than I was Disney Channel, but like I went through different phases. Like there would be a month or two that I would watch Nickelodeon. I think I watched Nickelodeon a lot when I was younger, and then I kind of transitioned over to Disney Channel just a little bit because the Nickelodeon shows were kind of becoming crummy. But Phineas and Ferb was another one that I really enjoyed. It's definitely a little bit more of a puzzle game involving not getting caught by your sister or some shit like that. It's fun. I recommend it. Sonic Chronicles. I've never gotten into Sonic. Ever. And the only reason why I have Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood is because of the same reason I had Bowser's Inside Story, is my friend gave it to me because he wasn't playing it. I was like, alright, cool. I'll take it. But I haven't busted into it yet. This next game I had to replace because I lost it when I was younger. But SpongeBob SquarePants Atlantis SquarePantis. This was another game that I thought fondly of, that I remember really enjoying when I was a kid. It's been a minute since I have played it, so I will need to play it again. But I remember having a lot of good times. I remember like some of the music tracks and stuff I really enjoyed. But Atlantis SquarePantis, I'll need to replay just to see if I remember anything of it. Next up is SpongeBob SquarePants Beach Party Cook-Off, The Big One. Or however the fuck you want to say it. Another one that I kind of bought at a pawn shop for cheap. I slightly remember one of my friends buying it for me, or one of my friends playing it, and then I just wanted to play it, and I never got around to it. But, yep, I got that one. Next up is The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning for the DS. This was I bought this before doing the or getting the PS2 version, because I wanted a version that I could play because I was missing a lot of the story. But it's just I played a little bit of it. It's just kind of a shittier version. Not going to be on it. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, it's just there for nostalgia, or not nostalgia, but like just because I couldn't find a different version. All right, next up is fucking Uno. Uno, Freefall, and Skip-Bo. I literally just bought this to be funny. The world ends with you. Now, I've heard good things about this game, as well as that they were also in Dream Drop Distance. But other than that, I played like a little bit of it. It was okay, but I never really got more into it than I wanted to. But other than that, that is all the 3DS and DS games. Alright, and we have reached the final stretch, which is Game Boy Advance games. Now, I only have one game that's complete in box that I bought off of eBay because of the lulz. And then the rest of these are going to be loose. So a lot of these are just going to be the same thing like we did with the DS games. My god, I apparently need some water. So I'll show off the only game that I do have that is complete in box. I had to do it. I had to do it. It doesn't have... Oh, wait, it does. It has the manual and everything for it, as well as a poster that I'm probably going to hang up on my wall because I'm a bitch. And then it does have the game in here as well. You know, continuing my trend of buying every single copy of these fucking games. But I do have the original game here. But this is the... I'm not really worried about a lot of these coming complete in box, just because I know that the boxes are just not gonna exist anymore. Okay, And we are reaching into my Game Boy collection, at least whatever I can fit in here, and then I have another box down here that will serve as that. But first up, we have Crash Bandicoot, The Huge Adventure. I bought this at a pawn shop for very, very, very cheap, so I could play it while I'm playing through the rest of the Crash series. And the same thing goes with Crash Nitro Kart for the GBA. It's literally just the same thing. I fucking just to play them. Next up is Duel Masters. I thought this was a Yu-Gi-Oh game. That's why I own it, but it is definitely not. Next up is Finding Nemo. Biggest reason why I have this is because I lost it as a kid, and I wanted to try to replace it because I don't know, there's a lot of things that I remember about it that I kind of wanted to confirm for myself, but that's the biggest reason why I picked it up, is just to have that nostalgia factor. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls collection. This was one of the first Final Fantasy games that I had to track down when doing my Final Fantasy ranking. Obviously, a lot of people are very upset that I didn't do the original NES, but, you know, I explained that thing way too many times. But I love this game. I had it when I was a kid with step parents and siblings and all that, and they kept taking up all the save slots, and I was never able to finish it. Now that I was actually able to finish both games, it was a wild trip to be on. Next up, we have Final Fantasy 4 Advance. Oh god, can you see it? Can you focus? Thank you. I decided to get all the Game Boy Advance versions of these games. I'm still working on tracking down 6, but 4 apparently had to be a must-have. And then the same thing goes for Final Fantasy... Jesus Christ. Final Fantasy V Advanced as well. I want to get 6. God damn, I want to get 6. But I don't have it yet. All the Final Fantasy Game Boy games, they look and sound as they should, except in their own way. Flushed Away. This is just a game I've had since I was a kid and decided not to get rid of. So that's why it's here. The Incredibles is another game that I had since I was a kid. I just don't know where the fuck it went, so I rebought it from a vintage game shop. Another game that I've had since I was a kid, it is Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. I don't think I ever got past the first level of this game until like I actually hit like my teens. And then I actually beat the game. It's interesting. So let's kind of do a little bit of a deep dive into this cardboard box for the final few Game Boy Advance games. This is probably not going to be in any particular order, but I will do my best to try to keep it on par as possible. First off, obviously, being Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance. I got this super cheap at a pawn shop, mostly for nostalgic reasons. I still need to continue it, but I have it. I believe next up would be Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Another game that I bought off of Amazon, probably for way too fucking much. But, regardless, it's Superstar Saga. I'm still in the middle of playing it. I haven't completed it yet, but still a good game. Very good early Mario and Luigi RPG. I believe the next one that I can show off, which I think I'm actually going in order. Son of a bitch. The Legend of Narnia. This was another game that I had to replace from when I was a kid. I got it at the local vintage shop for like $10, $5-10 I believe. And I just remember this game fondly, and I would like to start it up and try to complete it again. But it has been a minute, so I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, I think the next one I would show you guys. This is just a stupid little game pack that I bought for the funnies. It's just Sorry, Scrabble Jr. and Aggravation. It's just a funny GBA game. Next up, we have SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom GBA version. I bought this very cheap at a pawn shop. My friend looked at me and was like, buy it. I'm like, all right, cool. So now I own it. I haven't played it yet, but it looks like it's supposed to be the kind of the same thing as our other SpongeBob game that we have down here, but I don't know yet. But yeah, another one that I have I think I just got this at a pawn shop as well, is Super Mario World 2, I believe it is. Yeah, Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2, whatever the fuck that means. Another game that I got pretty cheap from a pawn shop and just picked it up, and I haven't played it. Last but not least, for the whole thing actually, Wario Land 4. This game was actually left behind by my stepbrother, and I've been keeping it ever since. Hopefully he doesn't watch this video. But Wario Land 4 was one of my favorite Game Boy games when I was a kid, besides the Final Fantasy. So I'm glad I still have it around, and I can still play it to this day. I need to start it over and beat it, actually, now that I think about it. And with that, that completes all of the handheld games. We are almost done. We have one more part left to go, and it's probably going to be around the same size, which is going to be the rest of my Nintendo games and all of my PlayStation 1 games. So thank you guys so much for watching this part. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do you guys doing that YouTube? Follow me on Twitter at OperationGamer1, all of that cool stuff, and I will see you next week for part 4, the finale. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.